Something
And
simple like a quiz, maybe like a small little app, maybe the ad event app.
yeah, let me put my headphones on really quick. I was gonna transfer the audio and I'm spooling up Lovable. Spooling, Lovable.
Right, we are live. All right.
Um,
So welcome everybody. Today we are actually going to do a little bit of true vibe coding. We've introduced you guys to a ton of stuff. We've done everything from MCP servers. You saw that created last week. We went over the context the week prior to that. We've built some crazy automations. We built NAN. So today, the one thing that we're going to do is actually we're going to vibe code using either Lovable, Bolt.new, and what's great about Lovable AI and also what's coming out recently is that Lovable came out now with Lovable AI Cloud, which allows you to create your own database without having to program it. And it automatically asks you to, or adds AI to your app, which makes the process a whole lot easier. And for anybody that hasn't been following along, Mario's created or has been creating for the last several months his own software that talks to high level called Talk to My CRM or Talk to My CRM, right? I'm not crazy.
yeah, talk to my
Um,
CRM.
and then so today we're going to show you guys how to like legit vibe code. So a lot of people have been asking about it. It's something that we've been doing lately. We've been building all of our own apps that we want to use inside of our business. And today we're going to give you literally a how to and how to do that. And we're going to keep enhancing that as we go forward. So before we get started though, a couple of little caveats and things to understand. Now, there are multiple apps that can do this. There is Bolt.new, there is Replit, there is Base 44, and there is Lovable. We tend to prefer Lovable just because it's what we're used to. They're all relatively good. They're all advancing, and they're all building apps at a pretty incredibly good pace, making it very normal for normal people like yourself and me that don't know how to code to be able to create apps of any sort. Today, we're going to be using Lovable. Just because it's like what we find to be pretty easy, and we're going to try to make it as simple as possible. And Mario is going to go over the platform, what it looks like, give you kind of a little overview, and then we're going to go right to it, and we're actually going to start coding.
Yeah, man. So I'm just reactivating my Lovable subscription because I haven't used it in a little while. So just bear with me 2 seconds. But um, for anybody watching, like Nuno, you're watching the comments, correct?
I am trying to watch the comments. There we go. Yes, I am.
So does anyone have any ideas around apps? Feel free to drop those in the comments and let's see what we can. I just got Lovable spun up. So Nuno, what's
Well,
an
let's
app?
make well, we know that you're like a massive great like love we love dogs, both Mario and I, and a lot of people right now, I've been saying that I think lead magnets are dead. I think interactive lead magnets are more in tuned. So how cool would it be if we built uh like um like a very interactive quiz to finding your best breeded dog, just to kind of walk through the tool and make it super easy. And then we'll get into a little bit more of a complex app. Um, so for instance, make believe you run a pet shop, you're a breeder of a certain breed, maybe you run a dog t-shirt store. Again, we want to start small, but let's make it a little bit like of a better interaction. Most people run lead magnets, they create guides and all this other stuff, and that's okay. But how cool would it be if we take that to another level and make an interactive tool that people can log into or give us their email and user, like their email and name, and then in turn we give them a much more interactive experience using AI, right? So what Mario is going to do is create a very simple interactive quiz or program or app that basically breeds pairs us with our best dogs.
Yeah, so what you guys can see here is I've got my prompt, and typically when I'm starting in something like Lovable or Replit or something like that, what I want to do is try and make it as detailed as possible. So we're not going to go anything this complicated, but some of my prompts that I use for building like production level apps can be 5 to 6 pages long because it's really, really detailed information The AI doesn't know what it doesn't know. It can't really assume, or it's not able to essentially kind of guess, or will just guess what it doesn't know. So what this does by putting in a detailed prompt is it gives the AI all of the contextual information related to our software that we want to build. So what I've said here is I want to build a very interactive quiz to find the best breed for your dog. Make believe that you're in a pet shop and you want to find out what breed of dog is the best fit for you and your personality. Um, so you'd want to ask questions about character traits and then correlate into character traits of the dogs. We'll say, I think it's pretty good to start. This will need to feature a login at the end of the quiz using Supabase to allow them to find out their dog breed based on their assessment. It will retain their results and allow them to take multiple different assessments to find out what their best dog breed is. Okay,
So
so
Mario,
what?
actually, we might not need to have to use database. Just say database, because Lovable Cloud automatically now creates a super database. So every beginner can now do it. So let's see what it is. Yeah, I don't know if you see the introduction of Lovable Cloud right at the top there. But that is one of the enhancements that they did, is that now um, um, it automatically will create the database and add AI without us having to really like create an open AI key and all that other stuff. Pretty
Oh,
curious to see
cool.
it. I haven't seen it yet, so that's kind of what's going on here with that.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I've typed in my prompt. All I got to do is hit enter. And let's watch it vibe code.
Now, what's really crazy is oh, look at that. Free Gemini AI in all your apps until October 16th, October 6th. Interesting. Maybe that's the big push for the lovable AI that I was talking about. Um, So what's really crazy about like being able to build these apps, you got to remember some of the apps that people were creating prior, it would take a lot of effort to create all of this. Because it would just be you would have to create a database, you would have to build a database, you would have to connect the database, you would then have to write all the backend code. If you wanted to create a user sign in, that was a whole nother process altogether. So all this combined is something that is going to be easy. And by the way, anybody that's like watching, follow along and try to build your own.
Yeah, so what it's doing right now is it's thinking. So it's come up with some feature lists. It's asking us to enable cloud. So we just enabled cloud. And we are going to basically just wait while it thinks. I mean, this is kind of the fun part of vibe coding is like, for me at least, is watching. It's like, some people say it's like watching paint dry, but for me, it's like watching a genius work because you actually get to kind of get insight into what the AI is doing as it's going through its thought process. So like it's modifying the database, it's creating the CSS files. Um, it's got quite a bit of different things it's doing. So it's auto approving. So I'm going to say always allow, and I'm going to allow it to auto approve changes. Man, Nuno, so I while it's doing this, I ordered my MacBook this morning, and David Kavanaugh was definitely right in how he said that I need to look at this like an investment in my future and not a cost. But man, did it hurt my wallet to think about how expensive Mac. I remember when MacBook Pros were $800.
Yeah, no, they're like 3,200 is what I paid for mine.
Yeah, I
So
paid three
it's
grand for mine. So, and I didn't get the fancy storage because I needed something that was available same day. Because my main desktop crashed. So, um, I needed something that was available same day. I'm going to turn my main desktop into an AI rig, um, and basically use an external GPU dock for my 5090, and then use the MacBook to drive my 8K displays. But man, if it wasn't like painful to pay $3,000 for a laptop.
well,
But
on top
it
of it,
had,
it's Apple. I can't stand Apple. So I mean for PCs anyway. But everybody
yeah, I
watching,
love,
like literally, it's pretty bad. Like I literally have 2 laptops and I have 3 PCs. So because the one I made for my son is my backup one, because I've had this happen for me where I literally have been shut down, and hate on Apple and not hate on Apple for the laptops. Nobody makes a better laptop because of the power consumption and everything else. It's just super freaking reliable.
yeah. I mean,
They never go down.
I've got my laptop, my Lenovo Legion, that I'm gonna keep in my backpack as well because like I'm the same way as you. Like I'm terrified about not having like computing power.
Yep.
And so, and I have this like primal fear. So just for everyone's updates, we're still waiting for it to finish editing some stuff. It's building everything out. So while we're doing that, we're just having a little bit of a casual chat. Um,
Well,
but I
ironically
actually,
enough, I want to show you something. Hold on. I got to show you this because you're gonna laugh a little bit because this is my weekend project. I am
yeah,
so
yeah,
paranoid for anybody watching when you get really involved in AI and everything. First of all, AI takes massive computing power. So does like what we do on the marketing side and everything else. So I just always have to have a PC available. So when I travel to Europe, and I stay in my other place in Europe, what happens is that I bring my laptop. My laptop consistently overheats every time I start using AI to the point that it shuts down because I have a PC, and I just don't really like using Apple. So I am so out of my mind that I am going to build a mini computer that will actually fit in a suitcase. So that's like my weekend project this weekend. But I got to show you the case real quick, Mario. So I'm gonna step off screen while Mario fixes this real quick. And we do have a question. Um, I use Lovable with the Listio. Do I need a Listio anymore with the cloud updates? Yes, because Listio, I think you're using that for NAN Bev, and I think that that's how you're self-hosting. So if you get rid of Listio, you won't be able to do it. And Bev also asked, do you think your desktop blew up because of your AI power you needed? Mine definitely did. I was running,
100%.
I was running AI locally. I was running AI on the cloud, and then I left it overnight, where it was computing a bunch of projects and everything else. And it 1000%. I woke up to like this everything being shut down, and when I touched my computer, it was blazing hot. Like it almost
Yeah,
left a little bit of an indent. So that's how bad it was. So lesson learned. But now, so then I had to use and again, but you got to remember of like what we do versus you guys. Like we're a little insane. You guys are not going to be on there. But I'm gonna come off screen just to go grab the little PC. I'm going to show you. But Mario, go ahead.
yeah. So we've got our quiz. So what it's doing now is it's fixing different things. So we're going to hit start quiz. We are going to select high energy, close friends. I'm just selecting some random stuff, and it's going through the questions. And then it puts us into creating an email. So we'll wait for Nuno to come back. So Nuno was talking about how it's typically kind of the work. And to answer Bev's question, yes, 100%. I run 3 graphics cards. So I have an RTX 5090, 4060, and 3060 that I run all concurrently. And I drive 2 8K 57-inch monitors and a 4K 32-inch monitor, plus a teleprompter off of those graphics cards. The power that my computer upstairs consumes is equivalent to what most people spend on their apartment as a whole every single month. Just my computer consumes that much power. Um, so yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's like my computer probably died because I'm on it 22 hours a day. and being on it 22 hours a day is like it just it can only last so long. So oh yeah, show me what you got, Nuno. Whoa, that's a computer?
This is going to be the computer we're building this weekend. Um, it's a little bit of a case, but I built computers as a hobby, and then this is going to be basically it's going to carry a pretty 4080 card. A 480 card is pretty decent enough to do it. I mean, 590 is like a $3,000 video card. Video cards, believe it or not, are what people are going to use um, to do any kind of massive computing. But what's really cool about this is that the fan goes right on the card. So any of the heat that's going to come from the fan, and it's got openings everywhere, is going to go through it. So I'm building this weekend. I'll record myself doing it, but this is this is going to be the PC. The goal also too is when you travel to Europe, it can't be more than 17 pounds. So that's the second challenge because these things get heavy. But this will I've already tested it, will like go nicely in a suitcase. But this is it. This is the actual case that I'm using this weekend to build. So it's pretty wild. Looks really cool. But if I can get this thing to do the processing, this is what you guys want to do. But the reason being is you want a better PC is because what Mario's saying, the video card, believe it or not, certain video cards are built for AI and they will actually process a lot faster. Yeah, so it's but this is my
That's
challenge.
that's super cool, dude. I've never seen a case that small. What size motherboard does he use?
It's a micro motherboard that we're going to be using. So the motherboard, believe it or not, is like this big.
Holy shit.
And it will carry a 480 card, which is like, yeah, it's pretty intense. So this is what we're doing.
That's awesome, dude. Congratulations. I'm excited to see the build and the video from it. Um, yeah, that's really neat. So it matched me with a Labrador Retriever, said that there's an 85% match. I can view all my results. I can take a new quiz. So Nuno, we just vibe coded a lead magnet in less than 20 minutes. We vibe
But
coded a
you,
lead magnet.
yeah, but you guys see that, right? So we vibe coded a lead magnet, but that makes it interactive. So now, if I was running any kind of dog store, dog merchandise, anything that you could possibly think of, we literally just vibe coded that, right? So this is something that you're going to be able to go and really understand. Like whenever you guys are doing something, this is the way you got to start thinking about the way it's going to work. I made a presentation, and one of the presentations that I mentioned, we are going to go from mass creation to mass personalization in the next 18 months. So everything that you are going to be building, you should really be building to personalize for the customer. And how cool would this be? You can go in there and you did it. Now, what you guys also didn't notice, and I don't know if Mario even noticed, is that we didn't have to go create a database. It automatically created
Yeah.
for us. It used to be one of the biggest things and one of the biggest painstaking things that we had to do. The second thing is, I don't know if we added AI. Did you ask to add AI? Because
No, but I can
usually you
ask it
guys
to
will
add
say,
AI.
yeah, so we're gonna say, I want you to ensure that this has AI. So now, to make sure we match it against the best dog, right? Because that's what we want to do. Because again, here's the other thing about when you guys are vibe coding. And again, this is so much easier now than it's ever been because now it takes the database component and adds it to the AI cloud. And you now also have AI that can be automatically added to it, but you got to kind of instruct it to do that, right? So now you've made an interactive lead magnet that is very personalized to the customer experience and go from there. See, add AI to your app, chat, image generation, it does all of this now. Isn't this cool? Always allow.
Oh yeah, dude. I when I vibe code in Cursor and Claude Code, Claude Code has a live dangerously, skip permissions option. And it is the reason why Talk to My CRM exists in its current state. Because when I was coding it, I was like probably 80 hours into the project and I hadn't slept. Or like more like 50 hours into the project and I hadn't slept. And but I had this idea that I wanted to put down on paper. And so I was talking to my AI and kind of like wireframing out this idea. And I told it to write all the PRDs and TRDs for like this new part of the application. But I forgot to include the don't execute command at the end of my prompt. So I went to sleep for 2 hours and came back to like a almost fully built app. Um, and was like, well, I guess I got to do it now. So,
That's pretty funny. One of the
but
questions that
yeah,
came in, why do you still use Cursor? Because there is a difference, right? Cursor is more made for programmers. It requires a little bit more programming knowledge. You got to have a little bit of tech in you in order to do that, though.
yeah. So I use Cursor and Claude Code, but I'm also building like enterprise level applications that need to be incredibly secure and are capable of handling like electronic personal health information, financial data, um, all sorts of PII, like they need to be like high trust compliant. So like what I'm doing from a vibe coding standpoint, and like I'm an actual software developer too. So but what I'm doing from a vibe coding standpoint is an order of magnitude different than what most people do with vibe coding. So like what we're showing you is like how to get involved in vibe coding and build your first couple lead magnets. But in your lead magnets, you're not collecting like credit card information, right? My app collects credit card information. So it's a little bit of a different stratosphere than what most people are working with in vibe coding.
Yeah, but for everybody's use and everything else, and what's really cool is I don't know if you guys are reading this right there. It says Google models free until October 5th.
Yep.
But I bet you can probably pick which models you want, regardless of which. This is now something you don't have to do. So now we've introduced AI into it. Um, so now we're going to be using AI to do that. We can even say generate a dog image. How about we do this just to see how AI is? Um, Anytime a dog is mentioned, please generate an image to match the dog, because that would be pretty cool. So now it already matched them to a different dog altogether. And now we're going to see if we can actually get some images generated to match the dog type. Now, again, we have a fully functioning app already. Like you literally, for anybody that's doing lead magnets or interactive lead magnets, you now have an interactive lead magnet. You barely did anything. It literally took us about 20 minutes. We were chatting in between. It probably so it took closer to 15 minutes and you had a working app. What's crazy about where Lovable, Replit, Base 44, and all these other apps are doing, they keep decreasing the difficult things so you don't have to do it. So for instance, the two difficult parts that everybody always had was creating a database and like actually installing the AI. Now, if you guys just saw, it does it on its own. Now, the only thing I'm very curious about is what the cost of all this is going to be. Because when you go into a database and you start building your database and your database gets bigger, there is a cost associated to the size of the database. I
Right.
don't know really what the cost is going to be pretty much for this cloud here. I'm assuming you'll always be a little bit more because they're giving you the convenience for you paying a little bit more of the cost, which for non-programmers might be completely and utterly worth it. But it's something that we're probably going to have to investigate a little bit. Same thing with Replit. You always got to check where it is as far as cost wise, because again, when you guys are building apps, there's something to keep in mind. The app gets more expensive as bigger that it gets, and the more people that are using it. So traffic, volume, and also size of database is going to be your really cost factors that you're going in there. Now, the other thing that's kind of crazy is if you're looking at this, is that we can make this live. So when we're, it's still editing because now we're asking it to add images at the end, and it's modifying the database. What we're going to do is we're going to run it one more time, and then after that, we are going to make it live. So we're going to show you how to publish the app so you can make this live so other people can use it. Um, so, um, so video cards are built for AI. I'm just going to go back and answer some questions. Yes,
Sure.
certain video cards, NVIDIA. This is why, if you guys ever see the news right now, NVIDIA is making a lot of big news because they're the number one producer of video cards that are being used for AI. And the reason why that's super important is because uh, their video cards have a massive amount of processing power and they can be modified to use to do a lot of processing. So for anybody, and I'm dating myself here, you used to be able to mine Bitcoin. Mine Bitcoin means that you would have to process a lot of data. People were using NVIDIA cards, those cards, because they had massive processing power. So that's another reason why it kind of went there. Now it's just right, Mario, I don't know how to explain it a little bit differently. I think people use video cards for AI because of the processing power of a video card.
Yeah, so AI, and I'm gonna try and explain this in like Nuno speak, and Nuno may have to retranslate what I say, but um, AI is nothing more than a very advanced statistical model. And fundamentally, AI is no more than a very advanced statistical model. And statistical models require a lot of very specialized computing resources like video, because video to render video like a video game or something like that, all of the characters and the scenery in a video game that gets rendered by the GPU are vector points. So they're mathematical points in space, essentially, and in virtual space. So the video cards are specially tuned and designed chipsets that the render the models and content in a mathematical sense. So they're accidentally very good at doing AI. And the same argument with Bitcoin mining and some of the other cryptocurrency mining is those are all what's called hashing algorithms. So they are, again, statistical predictions and attempts to use mathematics to break encryption keys. Because that's what Bitcoin mining is. You're breaking an encryption key based on trying millions and trillions of different combinations of characters and bytes. So, little pieces of data, right? So video cards are uniquely tuned to perform mathematical operations. Now, video cards can't perform like standard operations of a computer. Like it's not a logic based processing unit. It's a mathematical based processing unit. So GPUs specialize in mathematics, CPUs, central processing units like processors, specialize in logic based processing entities. So that's kind of the big difference between the two.
Yeah, and long story short of it, again, just to kind of retranslate this a little bit, um, video cards are made to process video games. And that's why they've added so much like extra power to all this stuff. So that's why you want to do that. But again, just yes to Jojo's earlier questions is it's really, if you get super into AI and you're doing a lot of this stuff, eventually you'll get to where your PCs can't keep up and you have to upgrade your PC.
Yeah,
Um,
like even my PC can't keep up with, and so look, it generated a French bulldog based on what I selected. And it generated an image of a French bulldog.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it says the name is Meet a French bulldog, and your story together is blank. So what I'm going to come back to Lovable and say the name shouldn't be Meet. But Meet is kind of funny. It's like meat, like MEAT. If it was
I was thinking of
MEAT,
MEAT, which would be pretty funny
yeah.
for a dog.
Uh,
And then we're going to do one more thing. We're going to make it live for you as soon as he goes ahead and fixes this. So you can see, actually, we can do that while it's thinking. So inside of Lovable, you have the ability of hosting directly inside of Lovable, meaning you don't have to put it anywhere else, which is really cool. If you go over to the right-hand side, notice that it has already gotten an ability to give you an image. It's got the description. It's got the icon and tool. Those are all the different things you can do on the right. And you have the ability, it's got a little plus sign right there where it says custom domain. So if I wanted to make this personalized and not a custom domain, I would just grab a domain that I currently own and I can connect it. Now, if you have the domain on either Cloudflare or GoDaddy, believe it or not, you hit one or two buttons and it automatically makes this thing live on whatever domain you have. And we'll give you guys this so you guys can try your own dog breed. So we're going to put this directly inside of our streams here so you guys can check it out. Um, oh, there you go. Look at
Yeah, and the name is
that.
Pierre, a male French bulldog. Imagine little Pierre, a playful French bulldog, happily trotting beside you in the park, then snuggling up for a cozy evening at home. Always ready for a game, but equally content to relax by your side, making him the perfect companion for your balanced lifestyle.
How cool is that, right? Now, and then just go back to the publish area. I just want to make sure we go over those areas too. This would literally be a pretty viable app that I would do it. Short little fun quiz. You could even probably put this on all your social media, just to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Just to go out there and have a bunch of fun with a bunch of like individuals, just to make it a fun trending app. It was too fun, so fast. It's pretty cool, right? Look how much pressure this was, like none. If you go to publish on the right hand side, Mario, can you hit publish?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to go over some of the settings in here because I want to make sure people get it. So when you come in here, you always want to make sure you update your app. And then, yes, somebody's asking if you wanted to use a subdomain, you totally can. So for instance, if I wanted to use go.nuno.com or dog.nuno.com, I totally can do that. I would hit custom domain. But
Yep.
you see how it has website info and advanced secure and
Yeah.
advanced. If you go to the right and just yeah, there you go. This becomes like if you wanted to switch your icon or your description, or you wanted to update an image, this is where you would do it. And you can always change the image, change the description, give yourself a little favicon. But if you wanted to add your own domain, hit custom domain real quick for me, Mario. I just want to show people where this is so they can publish their apps. If they come in here and you go can add an existing domain, so if he clicks on connect domain,
Yep.
and it will try like you will give it whatever domain you have. Now again, if you have Cloudflare or if you have GoDaddy, it does automatically connect to those two platforms. But for instance, to the point that Georgetta was saying, if I want to connect like go dot or dog.mario.com, all I have to do is write that in there, and I would click on I want to use a subdomain because I use the prefix, which is go or dog. Then I would hit continue. It would automatically connect, or it's going to give you the option of adding a record to your DNS. And literally, that's it, guys. This is vibe coding at its best. We had an idea. We immediately put it in Lovable. We wrote a very like simple, non-complex prompt. And this is the kind of stuff that you can do. But you saw how easy it took 15 minutes. I had my son do this yesterday.
Yeah.
I had
I
my
mean,
13-year-old son do this yesterday.
vibe coding is the new way of the future, dude. I think that, like you said, lead magnets are dead in their traditional format, and now interactive hyper personalization is where
I'm
it's
telling you, the
at.
next 18 months, if we don't have our own AI avatar, and we're all wearing our meta glasses and interacting with our avatar on a consistent basis, I'd be highly shocked. Because that's going to be the futuristic kind of like look of everything. So please make sure you guys, play around with this, and you can play with either or Replit, Base 44, Lovable, Bolt.new. All of them are really good. So I would just say that you go in and start playing with these. And I ran a table event at a recent place that we just did. Mario, myself, Ivan, and a couple of really great vibe coders. We literally ran, it must have been a room of 100 people, and 44 people walked away with apps. It was absolutely amazing. But yeah, like mess around with it, start playing with it, get your hands dirty and with like vibe coding. And we'll give you the steps. So we'll write this up in an SOP, make it super easy for you. And then you'll see it in another YouTube video as we go through. But that's it, guys. Hope you guys had a good one with always as our vibe coding sessions here. And we will see you in the absolute next one, right? Thank you, everybody.
Cool. Thanks, guys.